This is good stuff. Ugh, it's been too long, and I'm covered in glitter. It's like the fairy dust is all over me here.
I've been too long, and I'm covered in glitter. I'm sure that's a quote from somebody.
It's like the white party.
Yeah,
it's like being at the white party.
So can we ask the first question? What's with the glitter? Where does the glitter come from?
All right, really?
Yeah.
So I belong to a rather controversial group on Facebook. This is going somewhere, I promise. That I kind of follow Jeffree Star, who is known for controversy and that whole nine. Well, I'm an addict. I get it. I'm a shopping addict. I see it on the internet, and I'm like, oh, I gotta have it. So there was something on Marshall's. Apparently, one of his earliest collabs years ago, like 5-6 years ago, was with this one brand. I don't even know what it's called, but Jouer. Jouer. I have no idea. That's what it is. But either way, it's supposed to be some kind of long wear lip topper with coconut oil, which is fine. So I was like, oh, let me check this out. I didn't know what to expect. It was only $4. Look at this. It's like gay in a jar. It's like, I don't know if you can tell how glittery this thing is. And it's not. All right. So this is how I got into the first bit of trouble. So
we're just making the glitter thing worse.
Yes. Yes, we are. So I just did a little swipe just to see what it actually looked like.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's pretty damn glittery.
Yeah.
Right? There's some glitter and some shine happening. And then I was like, oh, let me just rub it away. This is where it starts.
Yep. Okay.
Glitter on my finger.
Yeah.
Glitter all over here. Everywhere I touch now. Well, now it's going to be on my forehead. And I still had it on from before. So, yeah, I'm full of glitter. It's a big fairy awakening.
It should come with a pair of gloves to protect yourself from the application.
People put this on their lips.
Does it stay? Does it stay there?
They just on your lips.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never put it on.
I would assume it would then kind of just keep coming off. Yeah.
Well, all right, and then we have the fact that it's coconut oil.
Yeah.
It's very slippery.
Okay.
So I'm sure it'll slide all over the place.
Okay.
So
this is great.
And if we keep talking, it's like
going every. Okay.
It's like that migrating piece of glitter that you see every holiday. Those memes, how one little piece of glitter turns into everywhere. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Well, I thought you stole one of those Amazon packages. Do you know? Have you seen that guy that builds those things that explode with glitter if you try and steal someone else's delivery? I thought that's what you've done.
Yeah, glitter bombs.
I thought that's what you had done. I thought you went, oh, there's a neighbor over there with an Amazon package, and I'm going to get it. No, but it would have just been really cool to know someone who's actually suffered from it. I think they look great.
I watched several of those videos because they'll record from like a Ring camera, like the doorbell, and
you get to see the disaster unfold.
Very surveillance.
The whole thing happens, and then there's a really like stink spray thing in there, and the people are covered in glitter. It's the people who open them in their car. That's the best part. So they drive along, and they see a box on somebody's front porch, and they then run out and grab the box and then get in their car and then open it. And they then open it, and then this thing starts whirring. Then the glitter just explodes in their car on them, and then the stink spray. And then I think there's even a voice. Like, he's done a few versions of it, and I think there's a voice that sort of starts saying, "The police are now coming. The police are now coming." So I think
I would piss my pants.
Well,
it's like you do something wrong one time, and that's
you've already been completely covered in glitter. So then they're going to catch you, because how do you you can't get that off, and you applied that yourself.
No. I've been caught glitter-handed.
You,
I it's like pink glitter-handed. This is great.
oh, officer, he's the
Oh,
shiny
it's
one
not
in the
going
corner.
anywhere. Quick, you can't find him. Shut off the lights.
Oh, I can.
See what sparkles.
I can see it. I can see it now. It's the new way. Well, do you know this other thing that they do? It's really funny because it does sort of tie back to some technology that they've invented. So you can get with your car, they can spray this paint on your car that's actually full of little micro dots of information. So you can't really see it. You really can't see what's going on, and it looks like just not like a normal coat of paint. But it's actually, if they analyze the paint, it's actually got like a serial number in it. So if you steal the car, like, you know, people try and take the engine out and do this kind of stuff. It's amazing stuff that they're thinking of and doing, and it's like explosives. Explosives have all got serial numbers, and you know, there's if you, you know, so if you steal some explosives and do something bad, they can actually try and trace it back. And I'm thinking, how do they do that? But they do this tiny little thing. And I think someone's had an incident with some glitter and went, I'm going to use this. Glitter has inspired me to do better with this kind of theory, because if it goes everywhere and you can't get it off, and you can then, you know, code each and every one, you can know, I know where that came from. So I wonder, now this is the conspiracy theory. Has Jeffree Star coded each and every bottle of glitter, you know, product that he has, so he knows who you are and where you are and
You
where
never
you've been?
know. He has some amazing glittery products. I'm not gonna lie. I have one called Gag Me, maybe, and
I hope that isn't because of the glitter just getting into your respiratory system and you can't breathe.
So I took a little boomerang of this, and the shine on this thing is blinding.
Okay.
So I never wear it. I just have it, and it's in my bag. And
I was going to say your bag isn't there because I don't have my
crazy.
sunglasses here. I can't.
No.
I can't cope with that.
No. No, we're good. I just, it's now on my shorts, and
this is.
It
perfect.
really is. This is horrible.
So
this is horrible.
who needs a chip? Who needs a chip in the COVID-19 vaccination? That concept, I think, is well and truly debunked. We now know that glitter is the way to start tracking people. Just say, here you go.
Yes,
here you go.
definitely.
Here's a sample of something, and you'll love this. Just try it. And then we go. Okay, there he is. He's running off. You know, we'll be able to trace him now forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's gone to Antarctica. Too bad. We still know he's there. I think. I think this is a new thing to worry about in the world. I think you've set yourself up for a bit of a drama.
Glitter is an old problem, but speaking of vaccinations, we both have something else in common. We both are halfway there.
You've had your first jab.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
I've been injected.
Okay, so have I.
Oh yeah, and then
you had your.
Then I got the vaccination. Yeah.
So okay, great. So tell me about your experience.
Yeah.
Tell me about what happened. Like, where did you go? How did it happen?
Sure. I went to a local drugstore. I was able to do it right online, where you pick a date and a time, you click some boxes, and then when you get there, like 10-15 minutes before, you get a text message that says, oh, click this link to show us that you're here. Then you click another link when you're actually at the store, like walking in the door, and then your name appears on their little handheld device. Mm-hmm. And they said, okay, well, here's your card, and this is very important. Don't lose this. Make sure you come back on this date that we have and go stand in line. And what I will take away from this whole experience was, not to get anybody in trouble, but all the people who say, oh, I can't get this vaccine, I don't know where they're looking, but they never checked my ID.
Yep.
They never checked anything. It was like I verbally told them my name. They said, did you check in? I said, yes. What's your name? I told them, and it was right there. He goes, okay, well, here you go. And I went over, And I was like, oh, surely at some point somebody's going to say, oh, well, let's compare your ID with what we have here. And no, nothing.
That
I
didn't
sat
happen.
down. They asked my name again before they actually took the needle out.
Hmm.
And I gave them my name. And the woman said, oh, your last name, that's Italian. Do you cook tomato sauce? Like, and I'm like, that's the conversation we had as she's putting a needle in my arm. That do I cook? Do I like? Do you like to make? Do you call it gravy or sauce? Or like,
Oh, okay.
it was mind blowing.
Okay.
That's what
Let's.
my experience was. Oh! One last thing. Then
Yeah.
they said you had to sit down because they're supposed to
Yes.
monitor you for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
right? The monitoring was go sit in that chair, and you should wait for 15 minutes. It's completely up to you. If you want to get up and go,
Oh.
no one's stopping you. I
Wow.
was like, oh my God, really? I said, well, I can go shopping.
Okay.
Like, I was in a drugstore that I could have just walked around and shopped for the 15
I'm
minutes.
gonna.
So it was very
Yeah.
weird.
I'll tell you
That was
my
my
experience is a bit
experience.
different. Especially the
Mm-hmm.
waiting at the end bit, but I just need to quickly backtrack to this whole gravy sauce issue thing. And the reason why,
Yeah.
this has come up, and it only came up a few days ago. I was watching a cooking video online, and I love watching people cook and make things, and
Oh
I
yeah.
don't have a full kitchen here, so it's like basically I don't have an oven. So there's a lot of things that people bake, and I'm like, oh, I don't have an oven. I can't do that. So I have to live vicariously through other
Mm-hmm.
people. But what I found was really interesting was that use of the word gravy. Now, in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
now I don't know if this is just a cultural thing, and I like all these cultural differences, but gravy is really only the brown stuff. It has to be thick and brown
Mm.
and meaty to be called a gravy. And I know in the US you have white gravy as well, but it's still thick and has that same sort of consistency.
Okay. Yeah.
So for me growing
Sure.
up, like that was gravy.
Mm.
Everything else is a sauce. There's a very clear line between the two. But I'm now hearing all of these people independently or interdependently or interchangeably saying, calling everything gravy. Oh, it just goes with this dish and it's called a gravy. And I'm like, that makes no sense to me.
Mm.
I get it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but it's just like, no, in my mind, I know what gravy is. Gravy is that really thick stuff. It was
Mm-hmm.
brown until I first went to the US and realized it could be white as well. And then that's it. Everything else is like a sauce or a jus or something like that. It can't be a gravy if it's
Right.
not, thick and meaty and all of that kind of stuff. Does that make any sense to you at all? This kind of
It
different
makes
word?
sense. It's definitely a cultural thing in Italy. There, like my family is Italian, part Italian, and that side of the family, they would never call it gravy. It was always sauce. But that's just what my parents and my family
Yeah.
and my grandmother who came from Italy called it. It was a sauce because gravy was when you put the meat in the red sauce. So that's when that became a gravy because it was more of a thicker consistency. It was a deeper red. Sometimes you put a red wine in it. It wasn't just tomatoes. Like when you put a little tomato, onions, garlic, and you simmer it with some, just some tomato paste and a
Mm.
couple of cans of crushed tomatoes, that's a sauce because it's thinner. So yes, I totally understand what you're saying with that.
Yeah.
But we never made that kind of spaghetti sauce or anything like
Yeah.
that growing up. It was just the red stuff. But when we say gravy, it was a meat sauce. It was brown,
Yep. Yeah.
just like you're saying. It was the stuff that in New Jersey we used to put it over French fries with mozzarella cheese and called it disco fries. Like it's a thing. So
See, I haven't lived. There's certain things you say, and I'm like, wow, that sounds really good. So in Australia, you would have like chips and gravy, like French fries and gravy. But
right.
did you say mozzarella cheese on it or mozzarella sauce?
Yes, and in certain parts of our country, they would put poutine on it, like
Yeah,
the cheese
yeah.
curds. Canada does it. It's more known in Canada. It's more known in
Yeah,
Wisconsin,
I have a good friend
like
who
home
would
of the cheese
kill
curd.
people for poutine. He just loves that. That's his kind of favorite thing. But yeah, so sorry for the slight distraction, but I just really had to
No, no, it's
get a
fine.
view on gravy. You know what? I'm probably going to go and look up some references to gravy and really find out.
Recipes.
No, references to find out what people are calling gravy and what you're allowed to call a gravy, because I think it's a really interesting topic. But I will go and do that in my own research time and
Okay.
really find this out. But I'll get back to the topic, which was the vaccination.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so
Vaccine.
here in Singapore, it's been very ordered and very controlled. Which has been a wonderful thing about it. So when they first came out, they said if you're a frontline worker or above 70 years old or 70 years and above, you can apply to get an appointment and then go and get your vaccine. So applying to get an appointment was something that you did online. A lot of the services here are online. So this is countrywide or island-wide, as we say here in Singapore. So you apply online, and then when there are appointments available, they send you a message that allows you to book. So that happened for the 70s and over. That then went to the 60s and over all the time. If you were a frontline worker, you could go at any time. Then from 60 and over, it then jumped to 45 and over. And luckily, I can
Okay.
pass for 45. On a really bad day. So my turn came up, and you apply online, and so you first do this registration thing where they make sure you're the right age and all of that kind of stuff. They're checking the records to make sure everything's okay, and then they send you a link saying, okay, now you can book, and you can book in basically anywhere in Singapore. It's really up to you. So I looked which was going to be the most convenient for me to get to. There is a vaccination location not very far from me, but they didn't have any available bookings for a week or so. But there was another place a little bit further. I just have to hop on a bus and get there. It wouldn't be too far away. And I thought, I'll go there. But the vaccination centres are all what previously used to be what's called a community centre. Well, there's still a community centre, but it's where you would go to play play basketball or badminton or something like that
Basketball. Right.
inside
Like the YMCA.
yeah, an inside sports venue, somewhere for people to get healthy and live a good life. Unfortunately, since vaccinations have started, no one's been allowed to do that because every community centre has been taken over with vaccines. But what it means is that they're able to take hundreds of people at a time. So you book in for a slot, usually a half hour. Intervals for the booking that you get, and you arrive and they check you in. Then you go from station to station to station. It's very ordered and very organized. It didn't take very long. I must say my ID was checked, and I was checked in, and they knew it was me that was getting it. If I check my online systems, they know that I've had the first vaccine or the first dose of the vaccine. So you go through these stages, you go and you wait, and there's a board that pings with your number, and you go from station to station, and you finally get the injection. And that was a nice conversation. And again, I had a bit of a frivolous conversation with the nurse who was giving me my jab, and she was quite nice. We didn't talk about gravy or anything like that.
Or sauce.
We talked about some different things, and then we finished it up talking about how doctors are really bad at giving injections. And I was really grateful that she wasn't a doctor, because I didn't feel it at all. I didn't feel the event.
Bet her parents aren't happy she's not a doctor.
I'm sure everyone else is. I don't care. Her parents can go and suffer. But after that, after the injection, you then go and sit down, and you have to wait for half an hour. They won't discharge you. They won't give you the paperwork until that half an hour has elapsed. And you're not allowed to even get up and go to the toilet. Obviously, they don't want you to go into the toilet and collapse in the toilet if you're going to do that. And then once that time is up, again, bing, your number comes up automatically. You don't have to time this half an hour. It's done for you, and it says go to cashier number 3. It's that kind of everything's all numbered, and you go to cashier
It's
number
like getting
3.
your driver's license.
Yeah, but quicker. Can I tell you that it was really fast?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went. There weren't people. There weren't people
It was
sitting there.
organized, unlike the DMV.
Yeah, there weren't people sitting there about to die or something like that from just the exhaustion of it all. Only to get to the counter and say, "Oh, this is the wrong form." No, none of that happened. So the discharge was done. They sort of said, "Are you okay? Do you feel good? Okay, here's your paperwork, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks." And good luck to you, and off you go. It was fairly well organized, but the numbers of people that they were doing at the same time was quite large. So there was at least a dozen different stations where people were getting the injection, at the same time, and all fairly well organized kind of thing. So I'm very grateful, very happy. Halfway to being fully vaccinated, and I feel good about it. I feel very good about it.
Good. I feel very good about my decision as well. I work with thousands of people every day at my job, so I feel better about being vaccinated. My next one is in less than 2 weeks, and then I'll be fully vaccinated, which is nice. It's a good feeling. I was having a conversation with Devin, my 19-year-old, and we were discussing herd mentality and the way Florida has been progressing so quickly. They're talking by Memorial Day, by the end of May, before June, we should be in the herd mentality in Florida. That, like, our president, Joe Biden, was saying that by July 4th, the United States should be our herd mentality, where we can go back to a new normal, where masks wouldn't be mandatory, and things can open up again even further.
If everyone plays the game.
It's been a really long year. Yes. But, I'm as I'm watching this spread all around me, the glitter, that I was just thinking, in the very beginning, like at the end of February, beginning of March, people were talking about just wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't touch your nose, don't put your fingers in your mouth. They should just put little drops of glitter, this stuff, on everybody's fingertips, and you would see where they touched. Oh, I don't touch my face, and glitter everywhere.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm totally.
It's like the kid with the chocolate around their mouth that says, "I didn't eat the cookie."
But I think what's most surprising is that Jeffree Star could have been, the answer to this pandemic.
Oh God, that's kind of scary, but okay, yeah.
Should we finish?
I don't
should
agree.
we finish on that and just say that's what we think, that's what we believe? Jeffree Star could have fixed all of this.
Yes, and we've canceled.